Welcome one and all to Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 509. I'm your friendly neighborhood Oxhorn here, as always, with suspender set to maximum stun. Sorry about being a little bit late today. I'm about 5 minutes late because just as I was getting ready to go live, I spilled water all over my desktop, which has my computer on it. So, you know, a little dangerous to be broadcasting right now. If I start to crackle, well, it's good for the show, right? Hold on. Is that about an inch of water? I gotta clean up. Oh, all this water. Are those loose wires? Almost ready there. Yeah, a few arcs of electricity. We're good to go. Great to have you guys on the program today. Looking forward to playing Doom. I have had a week chocked full of lore videos and adventures. We continued with our series on the return of the Obra Dinn. The water just keeps dripping. Hold on. Oh man, it's in the crevices and everything. It's gonna get sucked up by the fans. Arcs of electricity. Oh, it's horrible. It's a good thing I don't work for like construction or something. I probably would never be safety rated. Sal Stars with a tip. Thank you very much, Sal Stars. Extremely kind of having the program today. Anyway, we did the next episode in the Return of Obra Dinn. We did an episode on Fallout 76, continuing with our exploration of the Ash Heap. And we did a video on Fallout 2, which was a lot of... Today's Fallout 2 video was interesting, wasn't it? It was filled with all sorts of various topics. We'll just end it at that. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the next episode of Fallout 2. We'll probably be going to Broken Hills next. I think that's coming up next. And then, but more recently, we're going to be working on Fallout 3. The plan is for the weekend to have 2 Fallout 3 videos, one on wherever it is our character ended up, and the second on whom we met at that place. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I mean, I know the game's been out for over 10 years, but I mean, there are still people who are learning about Fallout 3 through me, so I got to be conscious of that and respectful. Matt Leshner says, how the hell are you, man? I'm doing very well. So good to have you on the program today. Adrian Esparza with a tip. Thank you, Adrian. Azizi Sinister grins, says, what's up, Ox? Love the videos. Not much. I'm looking forward to tonight. Eager to play Doom. I've been working hard on all sorts of lore, and it's time to kill some demons. We'll relieve some stress that way. Just kill some demons. Marcin says 4 a.m. Fallout 4 minimized. Let's start. Good to have you here, Marcin. Tim Kirby with a tip. Thank you, Tim. Josh Bunton says, Ox, how did you spring a leak? Well, I'll show you. I had this. Okay, so here's the brilliance. Here's Oxhorn's brilliance. I've got these desks, and I don't want to ruin them, so I have these wonderful theme-friendly coasters, right? Nuka-Cola coasters, and they're thick. They're pretty big. And I don't want to put a glass on my desk and cause a ring, so I have coasters, and I take my big water glass, which I've got filled with water, and I balance it on that coaster. But the problem is that the diameter of the coaster is approximately the same diameter as the big cup. So all it takes is a little tip and yeah, it's all over. But the crying. It's all over but the crying. So there you go. That's what happened a moment ago, and I spilled water all over my desk. Thankfully, it wasn't full. It was about a third of this, but yeah, I've been sopping that up, and that's what caused me to spring a leak and be late today. Thomas D says, just stopping in before a date. Have a great stream, Ox. Thanks, Thomas D. Good to have you here. Good luck on your date. Brett Buss says, I just got paid, so that means you do too. Well, thank you, Brett. That's extremely kind. The Dark Serve says, is a fight between 2 vegans still called a beef? Look, I mean, I don't think humans are not made of beef. We may be made of meat, but I mean, an argument between 2 carnivores would not be called a beef. I mean, it would be called a beef, but it wouldn't be called a beef because those 2 humans were made of beef. I mean, I suppose technically they are made of beef if they had just eaten beef, because it is now part of them. Huh. You know what? The philosophy of Scotch and Smoke Rings gets you every time. Marcin Roguski with a wonderful tip. Thank you very much, Marcin.
Publius says, Dear Oxen, do you think there will be more about the Enclave and Modius in Fallout 76? I think so. I don't think there's any way they can get around putting more information about the Enclave in there. I expect something like that to come out in the DLC, but I think they're probably going to focus on the vaults. How many vaults do we have in Appalachia that we haven't been able to explore? That's right, all of them. There's a single vault we find that we can explore, because those are all being saved for DLCs. So we got to wait for that. All right, I'm going to put my water over here. I know I'm not going to need it for a bit. And I'm out of Scotch. I'm out of Scotch, but I do have rum. Today we are drinking a little bit of Kraken Dark Spiced rum, my favorite rum. Cheers. Jello Sickle says, if two vegans fought, is it called a Brahmin steak? Maybe if they shared the same body, right? Dalton says, weekly donation. Any idea when you'll do videos on the story of Far Harbor? Probably after I finish the series that I'm currently on. My community is split. Because half of the comments I get are from people who are really glad that I do a diversity of content on my program. Lots of different games. L.A. Noire, The Return of Obra Dinn, Fallouts 1, 2, 3, 4, New Vegas, and 76. Not to mention my live streams of Dishonored and Prey and Rage and Bioshock and everything that I've done on this channel. But then you'll get people who they'll say, Oxhorn, I'm only here for the one series, and having one video a week, it's just not enough, you know. So you can't please everybody, and I think I'm in a good sort of gait right now. I've got my ball rolling. I'm in my production queue is all chock full of content. I've got my daily schedule down where I've got a new video. I do 5 lore videos a week now. 5 lore videos a week and 3 live streams a week, not to mention the show. So it's and when Fallout 76 comes out with new content, I do impromptu live streams. So it's quite a busy schedule. It's hard to keep everybody happy and to cover the content that everybody wants. But I try to cover a lot so that people enjoy themselves. Michael Stern says, Kraken is perhaps the best spiced rum made today. Great choice. Thanks. It is my favorite. Josh says, getting your Captain Jack Sparrow on, Pirates of the Caribbean got reference? Rum? I mean, if it were a quote of, if it were a reference to Pirates of the Caribbean, I would have said, where's the rum gone? Or something like that. But, you can drink rum without it being a pirate reference. The name of the brand is Kraken. Jello Sickle says, hey, Oxhorn, have you seen the teased Vault 51 on 76 yet? I have. The new vault appeared, and when it appeared, the number on the side of the vault was purple, and you couldn't read it, and that's because they forgot to put in the texture of the vault number. They then replaced that with the 51. So, I mean, we don't really know anything about it. We just got to wait and see. It's exciting. Okay, I should probably light my cigar on fire, huh? Wow, what is with all of the vegan jokes today, guys? The Dark Seraph says, a vegan told me people who sell meat are disgusting. I said that people who sell fruits and vegetables are grosser. Oh, the Dark Seraph. Oh, I shouldn't laugh at that. Okay. Jason says, Ox, can't remember, but did you do a vid on the Deathclaw Sanctuary in Fallout 3 yet? Just wondering if you've covered my favorite Fallout 3 weapon. No, I haven't done that video yet. It'll come. I want to finish the series of Fallout 3 first, and then maybe do Broken Steel first, and then we'll get to a lot of the other minor locations in the Capital Wasteland. Kim Nixon says, hey, Oxhorn, just popping in to show my appreciation. Love your Fallout videos. Keep up the good work. Thanks for dropping by, and thank you very much. Pie Gaming says, Ree for the Pie Gods. Ree, Pie Gods. There you go. Justin Stonesifer says, it's been a while since I've caught you live. Well, you have in fact caught me live, and I'm so glad you have. I hope you enjoy the stream. As always, we do a Q&A at the beginning of the program for the first hour or so, and then we get to play in Doom. That's the plan. I've been enjoying Doom. It's been quite a relaxing game. For a game with, electric music and lots of blood and demons screaming in your ear, it's quite relaxing. All right. Where's my lighter? Gavin with the tip. Thank you very much, Gavin. Chaz says, "Hey, Oxhorn, I can't wait to be a Pioneer Scout. Will hopefully make me feel like my Boy Scout days. You and me both. The Pioneer Scouts were clearly modeled after the Boy Scouts, and it'll be fun to see how they interpret them." Publius says, "Well, I'm okay with all you do, Ox. I mostly want more of 76 lore, but I can wait till you get around to it on your channel. Your channel is my TV." Well, thank you, Publius. I do a lot of 76 content, but I still have a lot of content from the other games to get through. I've done one 76 video in the past 2 weeks, so I think that's a pretty good pace. Devin says, "Ox, you're awesome. We may not have the same kind of smoke rings, but we enjoy smoke rings and video games all the same. Keep on keeping on, man. Thank you very much. I will." Jay Ogden says, "Good vid today on Vault 8. Thanks. We had a lot of fun in Vault 8 today." Man, you got to wonder, the conversations that went on at Interplay and Black Isle when they sat down to make Fallout 2. It's those decisions would not be made today. I can tell you that. No gaming company would be like, "Oh, that's the joke we're going to make? Cat's Paw donations. Go for it." There we go. Gosh, 20 minutes into the program, and I'm just now lighting my cigar. Well, 13 minutes into the program? Marcin Roguski says, "For Doom, if I may, follow the green lights and save the power-ups for the big boys. Will do. Good sage advice." Don Cointon says, "Vault 8 / groan. That was crazy, lol." Yeah. I had a lot of fun with it. Kristen says, "What do you think of that Daniel Hornwright would think of synths?" Don't think I ever expected to be asked that question. But it's an interesting one when you think about it because, wow, he'd be totally cool with it. Especially when we learn how he dealt with the Motherlode, right? Because the Motherlode's voice was not robotic. It expressed emotion. If Data were listening, he'd say that Motherlode had a personality. She was genuinely thrilled when she didn't die or run out of power. And I think the vibe that we're supposed to get from that is that he sort of projected his wife, his deceased wife, onto the Motherlode. Or maybe just made a replacement for her or something like that. So yeah, if he was presented with the technology that could create a synth, he'd probably do his best to recreate his wife. That would be really interesting. Prower says, "I wouldn't buy anything with Velcro. It's a total ripoff." Thank you. Michael Stern. Michael Stern says, "I bought one of those toilet brushes the other day. Gotta tell ya, it was pretty uncomfortable. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I think I'll stick with toilet paper." It's okay, I've made the same mistake. Don't worry about it, it comes with age. You and me both. Zachary McCleary says, "I've been trying for about a month to tell him he's an honorary memory of the NCSA and still no response." Well, this is the first time I've seen that comment. And let's see what that is. NCSA. I don't know. But cool, thanks. P-Town says, I'm still waiting for my videos to add it to the Fallout 4 playlist. P-Town, I did it. I remembered to do it. I went, I forget which, it was Jamaica Plain and Ballistic Weave, right? I added Jamaica Plain. The full story to Jamaica Plain is part of my Fallout 4 playlist. You're right, it was missing. I added it. The Ballistic Weave is not a lore video. It was more of a game mechanics video. So I added it to my Fallout 4 playlist, but I didn't add it to the Fallout 4 lore playlist, right? So I didn't add that to the lore one, but I remembered your comment and I took the time to go in and check the playlists to make sure they were accurate. So thank you. Mark says, hey Oxhorn, thanks for making my night at work more enjoyable. Cheers. Cheers, Mark. Chivalry says Dead Space is on Good Old Games, by the way. Yeah, I bought it. So I bought Dead Space on both Steam and Good Old Games, GOG. And the reason I first tried it with GOG was because I couldn't get Fallout 2 on Steam to work. I bought Fallout 2 on Steam years ago, and I had been trying time and time again to get it to work, and it just wouldn't work. Then somebody left a comment saying, try it on GOG because it works better. For some reason, it works out of the box. So I did. I mean, and yes, I had installed every single restoration project, every patch on the Steam version. I used every guide to try and get it to work, and I couldn't get it to work. But then I just bought the same game on GOG Galaxy and installed it, and it ran. And that's why I'm able to do my Fallout 2 series right now, only because I got it to work on Games, Good Old Gaming. So, but I tried to do that with Dead Space as well, but I couldn't get either of them to work, whether it was on Steam or GOG Galaxy. It just wouldn't work on my machine. I don't know why. So I gotta figure it out, sit down and tinker with it a bit to see if I can get it to work. It'll take some time. I have a lot of other things to do. We've got Rage 2 coming up. What is it, May 14th? Rage 2? I plan to dedicate a lot of time on my channel to digging through Rage 2. Hopefully it'll be a good game. Bello Lestrange says, happy to have caught the show. Happy gaming. Thank you, Bello Lestrange, very much for the comment. P-Town says, okay, thank you. I'm going to go check it now. You're great for that. You're welcome. Jello Sickle says, I'm assuming Oxhorn isn't going to do the crazy Brotherhood of Steel PlayStation 2 game. Oh, man. I don't even know. Well, first of all, it's a console game. So how would I even get it to work on my machine, right? I'd have to find a port or a ROM or something to get it working on my PC. And then, of course, the controls would have to be mapped to a keyboard. I don't even know if that's possible. So, I mean, I really don't want to have to play a console just to play Brotherhood of Steel. Plus, everything I've seen about Brotherhood of Steel is just agony. It just absolute pain and agony. I don't know if I'd get through it. But maybe that in and of itself is reason enough to try, because it would be fun. Maybe I should live stream it. If I could get it working, I could live stream it. Not do an actual lore series, but just shout at the game a lot while playing it. Chris says, Ox, your number still says Dishonored, does it? No, it says Doom. Oh, your hashtag says Dishonored. Oh. Thanks, you're right. I fixed the hashtag. It now says Doom. The gods are happy. Prower said, I said to my dad, can you put the cat out? He said, I didn't know it was on fire. It's a good one. Derek says, you, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you very much, Derek. Green Guy says, good morning, Ox. Sorry, I missed your other streams. That's okay. I'm just glad you're here today. Yan Carlos says, why in Vault 111 is there no GEC? And that's because the experiment of Vault 111 didn't call for one. The residents of Vault 111 were never designed to leave and rebuild society. The entire point of the experiment was to see how long cryogenic technology could keep a human being alive. Like thawing them so that they could go outside was never part of the plan. If you watch my video on the full story of Vault 111, the scientists were supposed to be there for a few months. Then, after Vault-Tec did the all-clear signal, Vault-Tec would come and evacuate all of the scientists. But the time frame came and went. The all-clear signal never came out. No one ever came to get the scientists. They didn't have enough food to last any longer, which is why we find signs of the security team rebelling against the scientists who were still trying to protect the project. So the entire experiment was to abandon everyone in the cryogenic pods forever. They were never supposed to leave. So there's no need for a Gek to have ever gone to that vault. And the same situation is true for Vault 101. It was supposed to be a vault that was going to stay inside forever. The experiment at Vault 101 was that no one would ever leave. So if you're never going to leave the vault, you don't need a Gek, because you're never going to go out and use the Gek to rebuild society, right? That's why Vault 101 and Vault 111 don't have Geks. Now, why don't some of the others have Geks? I don't know. I mean, it gets tricky when in Vault 8, we read on the terminals that every single vault was supposed to have 2 Geks. Why did Vault 15 not have a Gek? Why did it not have 2 Geks? We understand why Vault 13 and Vault 8 didn't have 2 Geks. There was a shipment error. But then I suppose that means that shouldn't they have 3? If Vault 13 was supposed to get 2 Geks and water chips, and their water chips went to Vault 8, shouldn't Vault 13 have 3 Geks? I need to play the game more. Well, that's why we're doing this series. All right. Jake from State Farm says, YouTube giving me free super chats. Okay, love your work, Ox. Thank you, Jake from State Farm. Jason says, Ox, if you're able to get Dead Space to work, you may want to skip 2 as far as streams. I wouldn't spoil much. Well, just don't say anything, man. I don't know anything about the game. So the little tidbit that you're sharing there is only relevant to you. You're the only one getting anything from that. I'm not getting anything from it. I have no idea what that little tidbit means that you just shared. Though I'm sure there are other people who've played Dead Space who are going, yes, the preschool, yes. And I was sitting there, preschool? What? I don't get it. Maple God says, the Legion and the Railroad go to war. Who would win? Don't make me answer that, man. Don't make me answer that. Man, what do you think? I don't know. The Railroad, I love the Railroad. Don't get me wrong. I did an entire video about why I think the Railroad is good, but flawed. You know, they would never go to war because they were competing. The Legion takes over tribes to absorb and assimilate those tribes and goes to war against other nations to conquer their land and territory. The Railroad has no land and territory. They don't have any resources that are valuable and worthwhile. They're an underground network of people who go from base to base with one goal in mind, and that's to free the synths. I don't think the Legion would even care about synths, right? Now maybe Caesar would see the idea of synths as a great way to build an army. Maybe. I don't know. But, I don't know. I think the Railroad would probably find a way to steer clear of an altercation because they probably wouldn't win one against the Legion. Interesting question. Error 404 says, killing demons, cigars, and Scotch. It must be Oxhorn. That's right. That's where you're at. Thanks for joining. Deuteronomy says, I don't think Vault 13 had 3 Geks unless they cannibalized 2 of them to fix the water chip, which sounds unlikely. Yeah, I haven't looked ahead, right? I don't know the full story to Fallout 2 yet, even though I'm working on a series, because I haven't gone to the end of the game to capture all my footage. In fact, the last footage I have for Fallout 2 is my Broken Hills footage. So one of these days I'm going to sit down and spend another couple hours capturing footage to continue with the story. I know the basic outline of the story and some of the major plot points, but when it comes to Vault 13, I'm not sure exactly what's inside. But if the lore that we just read at Vault 8 is to be believed, and every vault was supposed to have 2 Geks, then we know Vault 8 had 1. They used it to build Vault City. Presumably their second Gek was accidentally shipped to Vault 13 because Vault 13's water chips were all shipped to Vault 8. But that's the one shipment error. the shipment of the Gek and the water chip. Presumably 2 more Geks, the original 2, that were supposed to go to Vault 13 got delivered. I don't know. We'll see when we get to Vault 13 and figure it out. Brett Bus says, why did Vault 13 need a water chip when they had a Gek? Great question. Why were they still in the vault if they had a Gek? Vault 8 went out into the wasteland after they got the all clear. We were led to believe that it was an automated all clear, but they got the all clear signal and they went out and started building Vault City. Why did Jacorian not use a Gek if he had it? Their vault was coming to an end, their doom was coming, and his idea is to send one person out to find a water chip instead of using a Gek that he had? That's an interesting question. Why didn't they do that? I'm going to have to think about that. Nakari says, if you could pick the next Fallout location, where and why? I get asked this question a lot. I'd love to see annexed Canada because I want to know exactly how Canada responded to the annexation of Canada by America. I think that would be a very interesting story to tell. Fleet Master Michael says, you can play old console games on PC. My friend does it all the time. Apparently it's easy with pre-Xbox One PS4 games. Keep up the good work. Thanks. I will look into it. My concern is the controller. I mean, one of the reasons I don't like console games is because of the controller. I dislike playing games with controllers. Right. Deuteronomus says, no argument, friend. I'm just saying I don't remember finding more than one Gek device to put in your inventory. Yeah, I mean, that could be. If every vault got 2, they should have at least 2. But if 8 got their water chips, then they should have the one that was destined for 8. So they should have 3. Did we find a lore issue in Fallout 2? I don't know. Justin says, hey, Ox, favorite driving-based games. The secret is I don't really enjoy driving-based games. I don't enjoy driving cars, I haven't found a single driving game where I got behind the wheel of a car or a plane or a boat and I thought, oh man, this feels natural. Yeah, this is great. I get this. So I don't like them. But I do like L.A. Noire. I don't like it because of the driving. As many of you know, I like it because of the story and the interrogations and the detective work. But if I had to choose a driving game, I'd say L.A. Noire. Why didn't 101 get a Gek? That would have solved so many problems right off the bat, lol. Well, they explain it in the story. 101 didn't get a Gek because no one was ever supposed to leave Vault 101. So why would you give a Gek to a community that was never going to have a chance to use it? That's why they never got a Gek. That brings up, why did Vault 87 get a Gek? Asks Josh. Man, why do you have to ask such great questions? If you've got a vault filled with people that you know you're going to kill because you're experimenting upon them with FEV, why would you send that vault a Gek? You're absolutely right. Why did they send a Gek to Vault 87? Maybe they were hoping that they wouldn't fail, right? How many people did they kill? They killed like 93 people, 87 of which were killed by experimenting upon them with FEV, the rest of which turned into viable humans, or viable metahumans or super mutants, and then killed all the security and the scientists before leaving and going out into the wasteland. Presumably, I suppose we could say, so here's how we could get around it. We could say that Vault-Tec's original intention was to perfect FEV within that vault, within the population, the members of that vault. Then once it was perfected, they would create this new superhuman race and use that race and a Gek to repopulate the wasteland. Maybe they never intended that experiment to fail. Maybe they always planned, maybe their entire plan was, oh, we'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll get it. Our scientists are great. We've got Stanislaus Braun. He's a genius. He made the Gek. So sure, yeah, we'll figure out the FEV thing. Mariposa? Amateurs. Vault-Tec? We got this. That's probably where their minds were at. Binary Ghost says, Oxhorn, 1, what are you smoking tonight? 2, what do you think about the soundtrack and atmosphere to Doom? 1, I'm smoking a La Aurora y Leon Corojo, Churchill sized. And in terms of the atmosphere and soundtrack to Doom, I love it. You know, the soundtrack isn't something I would consciously go out of my way to sit down and just jam to. Oh, man, listen to all of that electric guitar. Just right up my spine. I'm digging it. No, but in terms of ambience for killing demons in hell, it's perfect. It couldn't get any more perfect. I couldn't listen to anything else. I mean, Moonlight Sonata is great. Don't get me wrong. I love Moonlight Sonata, but I probably wouldn't listen to that while killing... Actually, now that I think about it, that would probably go together really well. A little bit of Beethoven and Doom. I should try this sometime. No, but then I'd get demonetized. Brother Chromia says, hey, Oxhorn, have you got a chance to play with the chainsaw in 76 yet? No. I've got the robot, the Mr. Handyblade, but I haven't found a chainsaw yet. I haven't played Fallout 76 since we last played together on my channel, on my live stream. So maybe I will eventually go out there. Kine McKill with a wonderful tip. Thank you very much, Kine McKill. Prower says, hey, did you hear about the kidnapping at school? He woke up. It took me a brief moment. I was trying to interpret it. I'm like, oh no. What new horrible thing out of American schools is he talking about now? And then I got it. Kidnapping at school. Thank you, Prower, as always. Jello Sickle says, here's a puzzle for you, Ox. If in Fallout 2 lore, the way you can fix the car and drive it is to use microfusion cells and all of the other stuff, why can't you drive the pristine Corvega and the bike in Nuka World? Oh, magic radiation rust. Totally. Thank you, Keen McGill, for another tip. Extremely kind. I mean, so from a gameplay perspective, we understand why vehicles don't work in Fallout, in the Fallout universe. And that's because it would be an entirely different game, right? You'd have to figure out driving. Once you've got a drivable vehicle, you suddenly have a driving game. Now you got to figure out how vehicles move and how they work and interact with the roads. It just becomes a sprawling process that is not really well suited for a post-apocalyptic game, especially the roads. Honestly, the really weird thing is, how does a Corvega drive in the desert in Fallout 2? Northern California is supposed to be a desert after the bombs. Cars don't drive on sand. You could say, well, maybe it's a hover car, like one of the cars we saw at the Hornwright Estate. Sure, but the picture of the Corvega, of the Highwayman, has wheels. So you've got a nuclear-powered car with 4 rubber wheels driving a desert around Northern California. That's what doesn't make sense. So I don't know. We can't torment ourselves about this whole thing, because we could really torment ourselves if we wanted to. Oh man, I'm missing so many comments because I'm getting lost in each one. Vellingham says, you know what Vault really could have used to get? Vault 34. I mean, they drove off the only living technician because he wasn't a fan of guns. Yeah, good point. Wasn't very smart of them, was it? They could have used a GAC. Maybe Vault-Tec didn't expect anyone to survive. Maybe that was the point. Maybe they only gave... So this is where we would find a contradiction with Vault 8. Because Vault 8 tells us that every Vault got a GAC. But we know from the story of the Vaults that every Vault, with few exceptions, was a nefarious experiment where they didn't expect the Vault dwellers to survive. They were at the mercy of the overseer and the scientists. So it would make more sense if only the control vaults received gecs. Not every vault, but that's not what we read in the terminal in Vault 8. We read every vault. So maybe we should just ignore what we read in Vault 8. That would make things easier. Andrew says, should study but gotta support the Demon Slayer. Thanks, Andrew. But hey, you know what? Study comes first. School first, killing demons later. Rusky says the Gek was never actually meant to be used to rebuild the world. In reality, there were a very limited number and put in vaults 1 and 2 and put in vaults where Vault-Tec people could use them, and they just marketed them as something everyone would have. My crappy attempt at fixing it. Yeah. So, but that okay. So, the problem with the idea of it just being a marketing ploy is that they actually made it. They made it, like Stanislaus Braun. So the entire idea of a Gek is ridiculous to begin with. A suitcase-sized terraforming device that can purify irradiated water and make the landscape lush and green. Okay. So, first of all, we got to swallow that pill, and we have to because it's in Fallout 2. So, all right, we'll swallow that pill. The Gek can exist, and it's the size of a suitcase, sure. But then in Fallout 3, they give us the entire lore behind the creation of that. Stanislaus Braun is the scientist who created the Gek, and it does work. It worked in Fallout 2. Vault 8, or Vault City, is evidence of that. It'll work in Fallout 3. Project Purity is the evidence of that. So the technology does work. So if Vault-Tec before the war had perfected a technology that is a terraforming device that allows you to rebuild the wasteland, then it wouldn't be just a marketing ploy. It would be the truth. So, logically, they would only include it in control vaults, because those control vaults are the vaults they know have a chance to succeed. Every other vault is some nefarious experiment by Vault-Tec, which only they know. They know that those vaults are likely not going to succeed because they're all cryogenically frozen, or they're supposed to be underground forever, or they're going to kill each other with guns, or they've got hidden stashes of chems that they're all going to kill each other to get. All those reasons, sure, I get it. Don't give those vaults a Gek. But every control vault should have had a Gek. Which makes me wonder if we'll find a Gek in Appalachia. That would explain all the plants. That would explain Tanagra Town. What if it was a faulty Gek? What if one of the vaults in Appalachia did have a Gek? A terraforming device that brings life to the wasteland? Suddenly we've got all of these plants coming from nowhere after the bombs. And there was that one vault. What was it? Vault 94 that was covered in plants? Could that have been from a Gek? Ooh. All right, I want some of these vault DLCs for Fallout 76 now. I'm excited. Man, and there I go, missing your comments again because I'd get lost. I get lost in a thought. Brother Chromia says, make a note, Mountainside B&B basement next to the Tinker Bench. So, unless it's something new, I've been to the Mountainside B&B basement. I don't recall anything by the Tinker Bench, but maybe there's something new. I'll have to go check it out. KBN TV says, what would you choose, Fallout 4 or Fallout 76? Fallout 4. I have more fond memories of that particular game. Grievous Reborn says, playing unfitting music works. For example, if Joker was killing people and you're playing When You're Smiling by Frank Sinatra. Also keep up the great work. I don't know if I would call that music that didn't fit. I mean, that's perfect. Like When You're Smiling. You know, the Joker's smiling. The whole world smiles with you. That would be great for like a Joker rampage, right? No, but I get what you're saying. The Dark Seraph says, we don't need a bike in Fallout. Just look at horse physics in Skyrim. Again, another reason why Bethesda might not have included drivable cars in the game. Marcin Roguski says, better not ask too many questions about lore. The more you think about it, the less it makes sense. That's the true secret right there. Don't think too deeply on lore, because the more you think about it, the more issues you get. Bella Lestrange says, if you ever get the chance, you should listen to classical music while either on a killing spree or running from something. Yeah, no, that would work, but I would get demonetized. That's the problem. Even classical music that's been around for centuries, it's the performances that they can copyright, right? So the people who perform that music, even though someone else wrote it, they can still take the revenue from your video. So sadly can't do that. Alex says, hi from Mexico. Ox, I love your videos. Lore and Fallout 4 is my favorite thing. Thank you very much, Alex. Dalton says, Prey and 76 seemed almost identical to me gameplay-wise. Hardly any NPCs, with only terminals and holotapes to put together. A very thin story. Didn't it to you? I didn't... Okay, I see where you're coming from, because almost everyone we find on Talos 1 is dead. But we still meet quite a cast of characters in Prey. And many of them we get to not only hear alive over the intercom, but we get to meet them in person and choose to kill them or not. So it's also a very different game, because what happened on Talos 1 was a few days ago, not 25 years ago like the events of Fallout 76, or 8 years ago, however long it was that the Scorched event happened. In terms of enjoying the game, I really enjoyed the gameplay of Prey. The story just didn't resonate with me. Mooncrash particularly didn't resonate with me. I realized I didn't get very deep into it, but the idea of having to do the exact same thing over and over again to get the story just didn't sit well with me. I get that you've got all of these guys, you want to get them to escape off of the moon, but doing that 9 times for all of the 9 different survivors, I don't know, it just didn't appeal to me, which is why I stopped that particular live stream and moved on to Dishonored, which I'm enjoying a whole lot. I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow is day 2 of Dishonored, by the way. If you missed Monday's live stream, we did day 1 of Dishonored on Monday. Day 2 of Dishonored is going to be tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm really looking forward to it, because I had a blast with Dishonored on Monday. So we're going to be doing that. But yeah, in terms of straight up Prey and the story, I don't know if it was the dead people that made the story a little bit lackluster. I think the ending kind of bothered me a little bit. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but well, that would be a spoiler too. So I don't know, the ending didn't really sit well with me. And tell you one thing I noticed about Arcane Studios, and it's the same in Dishonored a little bit. They really fragment the subplot. The world building, that's what they do. They fragment the world building and scatter it around the world. The problem is that oftentimes you'll find a book or a journal and you've already read it, and you won't realize you've already read it until you're halfway through it, because it's not marked otherwise, which is frustrating. It happened a lot in Prey. It's already happened in Dishonored. And because you're getting all the bits and pieces out of order, you don't really get a clear idea of the story while you're playing. It takes playing way to the end of the game and then, reflecting upon it and maybe looking something up to finally get the story, and you're like, oh, okay, great. I also think that that's one of the things of Fallout 76 that bothers me. I mean, I like Fallout 76, but I prefer the storytelling of all of the other Fallouts, because the fragmented subplots that we do get in those Fallouts are really location specific. So you'll go into a location, you'll find a bunch of fragmented stories, but by the time you leave that location, you know the answer. You know the story of that place. In Fallout 76, you can explore an entire town, get 5 holotapes and 5 notes, and you still don't understand the story of that town, because half of its story takes place at a location all the way on the other side of the Appalachia. And you got to go through that next, right? Which is one of the reasons why, as a content creator, I'm really enjoying putting together all of these videos, which kind of mesh the story, just kind of gel it a little bit so that we can understand it better. But from a gameplay perspective, it's a little frustrating. Wow, I'm really getting ahead of myself. Great comment, Dalton. Where JC says, trying to watch Ox in the quartering at the same time is hard, lol. Thank you for watching me at the same time anyway. Vellingham says, Oxhorn, so I know you're looking forward to Rage 2. If you enjoyed Bioshock, then you'll definitely enjoy Atomic Heart. It's almost like a Soviet Bioshock. Really? Atomic Heart. Let's Google that. And save that for later. Oh, PS4. No, Windows, PC. Great. Oh, people also searched for The Outer Worlds, Cyberpunk 2077, and Metro Exodus. Okay, yeah, I'll probably like that. Thank you, Vellingham. Jackson says Outsider is the best. Outsider, I don't think I know what game that is. Prower says people don't like having to bend over to get their drinks. We really need to raise the bar. True. KBN TV Austin says, sorry to ask, when do you do live streams? I do live streams on Monday, Friday, and Thursday. 10 o'clock on Monday and Friday for 4 hours. And then 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time on Thursdays. And we do it for about 2 hours. 2 hours, really. Sometimes longer if I really get into the game. When we were playing Wolfenstein, I was really getting into the game, and so I would stream for 3 hours sometimes because I was really enjoying it. Justin says, Haux, will you set up a vendor station at your camp after the patch? Maybe. Jackson says, sorry, the outsider from Dishonored. Oh, right. I remember now. Well, he was certainly creepy when we met him in our last broadcast. I look forward to getting to know him more. Jan Carlos says, in Oxhorn in Fallout 1, Vault 13 had a water chip that broke. In that case, why didn't they go to Vault City? They might not have known about it, right? Remember, everything that we did during the events of Fallout 1 was based on the knowledge of the people who were living at the time. It's not like we were able to hack into some pre-war database and find the location of a vault that had a water chip. We had to go search for one. And Vault 8 is way north of both Vault 13 and Vault 15. We'll explore them all, both of those in Fallout 2, so you'll get to see just how far south they are from the location of Vault 8. So it may simply have been a matter of geography. They didn't know where Vault 8 was, and they couldn't get there because it was too far away. Tyler says, just finished binge watching the L.A. Noire series. I love how you explain the video in such detail that I can listen to them like a podcast and still follow along. Love your content, Oxhorn. Thank you, Tyler Jones. That's one of the things I love most about the series that I do. Big Boy with a tip. Hey, Big Boy. If you're the same Big Boy who is a Patreon patron, then I really appreciate everything you've done for the show. Thank you very much. Oxhorn asks, Darrell, have you had Cuban cigars before? If so, which would you recommend? Well, I haven't had many. I had one when I went to Canada a few years ago, and then I had one when I went to Amsterdam many years ago, and I don't know anything really about them. Honestly, they didn't taste any better than regular Nicaraguan or Honduran cigars. It used to be, so a lot of this is marketing and myth. It used to be that Cuban cigars were the absolute best cigars ever, right? But after the American embargo of tobacco from Cuba and cigars from Cuba, a lot of Cuban seed tobacco was shipped to Nicaragua, Honduras, the Dominican Republic, and plants were grown from Cuban seed tobacco that rivals many of the Cuban cigars. Now, it's the soil of Cuba and the unique conditions there, in addition to the Cuban seed that produces a leaf that's great for a Cuban cigar. So you can tell the difference as an aficionado between a Cuban cigar and one that is a Cuban seed grown cigar in the Dominican Republic. I can't tell the difference, but I've been told that people can tell the difference. That said, if you ever take a look at cigar ratings, like a Cigar Aficionado, every single month they do a new cigar rating, and the top 10, maybe every now and then you'll find a Cuban cigar. So you've got Cuban cigars fighting against all of the others that have been created after the embargo, and their recipes have evolved, and they really can't compete anymore. So it's really all about marketing. Cuban cigars, yeah, everyone wants a Cuban cigar, but when I've tried them, they didn't taste any better than the ones I've already got. Emily Willard says, love your content, Oxhorn. Thank you very much, Emily. Where JC says, so there's no confusion. Your work is top-notch. Love the lore you do. Love the lore. You said a good atmosphere. Cheers, by the way. I just got a bundle of Cubans. Well, thank you, Ware, and I hope you enjoy your bundle of Cubans. Sean Fornongo says, let's see if there are any jump scares. Well, this is Doom. So, yeah, we'll probably get a lot of jump scares. Ashen says, Ox, have you thought about streaming Dark Souls? It would be very unique if you played it. My brother really enjoys Dark Souls, and he's trying to get me into it. I don't know if it's the kind of game I'd enjoy. Not just from the difficulty, but it's one of those games I think I could really enjoy quietly by myself in a dark room, right? You've got this kind of fantasy horror game, and I'm really kind of struggling. I know that I would be bad at the game. That's another thing. I know I'd be bad at the game. I might not want to stream myself being that bad at a game. All right, 4 minutes left. Then we're going to be getting to Doom. Weird Beard says, don't traditional Cuban cigars contain a portion of marijuana? Or is that just a myth? I think it's probably a myth. I am not familiar with that particular myth. I'm not sure. Charles says, the quality of Cuban cigars has dropped over the years, in my opinion. Ah, well, that might explain it. Johnny Guiltfiddle says, playing hip to be square while murdering or torturing somebody would be an example of unfitting music. But that's why it works. Well, it's not something I'm going to be trying on this particular program. Justin says, there's no driving in Dark Souls, Ox. You'll be fine. Love your content. If there's no driving, then it's a game that I'd consider. Binary Ghost says, where did you get that hat? Got the hat a long time ago. Long before Amazon became a big thing. I believe it was on a website called MikeTheHatter.com. I don't know if they're still in business. I mean, we're talking a very long time ago, like over 10 years ago, maybe even 13, 14 years ago. I've had it for a very long time. That's where I got it at the time. If I had to do it over again, I'd probably just go on Amazon. They've got a lot of stuff there now. Lone Wolf says, how long have you been smoking cigars, and what was your first experience? I've been smoking cigars for about 10 years now, and my first experience was trying to find something that was less frustrating than tobacco pipes. I used to smoke tobacco pipes, and I enjoyed the feel of a tobacco pipe. You know, it was warm in your hand, and I loved hanging it from my jaw, and the smell of pipe tobacco is great. The problem with pipe tobacco is you have to pack the pipe properly, otherwise it gets too hot. It can't breathe right. It begins to boil the tar and nicotine inside the bowl. It starts to taste acidic, and you can get tongue bite. And I could never pack my pipe properly, so it became an unpleasant experience. So I tried a cigar just to try something else, and it was a much better experience because professionals rolled this correctly. Every now and then I'll get a cigar that isn't rolled correctly, and I have the same problem. It's too tight. The oils inside begin to boil. And it just becomes acidic, and I don't like that. But if it's rolled correctly, then you've got a nice smooth draw, and I didn't have to work at it. So that's why I moved from pipes to cigars. King of the South says, what kind of cigars do you smoke? Well, right now I'm smoking a lot of La Aurora, E Leons, just because they're the right price. But really, any kind of hand-rolled cigar that's, you know, decently made and it's not filled with confetti, it's going to be a good cigar. It's 8 o'clock. Mac Langport says, pack my pipe properly. That's a tongue twister. Yeah, well, the thing is, I get asked that question so often that I'm good at it now. Like, when I first had to say, well, I couldn't pack my pipe properly, I stumbled a lot. I'm like, pack it, pipe it properly. But yeah, I mean, that's a common question. I get a lot now. All right, let's get to Doom. All right, let's turn off my show music. There's that sound. Charles Borden says, Singing in the Rain or in A Clockwork Orange could be considered inappropriate. I know, but that's why it really worked. Now, the reason that particular part worked is because of the insanity, right? The reason the Joker thing would work is also because of the insanity. No one sane would take pleasure in hurting another human being. But Alex from A Clockwork Orange was just criminally insane, and on all of the drugs that he was on, the milk laced with whatever it was, and so he was actively, killing a person and singing a song that was so inappropriate, but it worked because it proved he was insane, right? All right, sorry. Let's get to something else. Where was I? There. Now, back to the campaign. Let's continue. I believe we were in Game Salon 3. Continue game. Have you faced the cyber demon yet, says Kilo. No. Well, I don't know. Maybe I have. We discovered a brand new demon in my last live stream that was ridiculous. I had to use like a Gauss cannon to kill it. Well, let's see what happens. Whoa!
The Argent Tower is destroyed. The portal can no longer be closed from this side. The hell energy flows from a location in their world we call the Well. But you've returned. The only flesh and blood to walk between dimensions. So there may be a way. Vega is trying to access Olivia's files. If you can get to the nearest terminal, we will provide you with information. That's all for now.
All right, well, I've got points to spend. I should probably do that. 13. Holy cow, my guns are so not upgraded. Okay, now this particular gun saved my bacon. I'm going to put a lot of points into it. We've got Siege Mode, which I purchased in the last program. The beam now has a devastating area of effect around it. The beam charge time is reduced. Ooh. Let's reduce that beam charge time. Now, hold on. Let's go to the missile launcher. Lock on to demons much faster. The time before another lock can be acquired is reduced. Ooh. Let's lock on to them much faster. Okay, now what have I not upgraded here? I've got the arsenal, heat blast. Shots from the plasma rifle now build heat much faster. Expanded threshold increases the amount of heat that can be contained. I don't always. Oh, that's right. I've got this minigun. I forgot about that. Oh, but they're both locked. All right. So we've got micro missiles on this guy. Tactical scope. I've already upgraded that. I could upgrade this. Decreases the time to reload the next shot. Shots penetrate through targets. Or my good old shotgun. Reduces the recharge time between bursts. Rapid fire. Explosive shots. So I've got that already all the way up. All right, so let's do more on here. Faster recovery and AoE. Let's do faster recovery time for the missile launcher. Johnny Pickle says, today's my birthday. Get to spend it with you and your chat. Beer and games. Good times. Ox, good times. Well, I'm glad you decided to spend your birthday here with us. Good to have you on the program. All right, so I've got 1 point left in terms of weapons upgrades. We'll save those for now. Now, let's see. I've got suit upgrades, right? Yeah. I don't think I've used any of them yet for quite some time. These upgrades affect the speed of certain actions. Grab ledges faster. When a power-up wears off, a damaging blast wave is released. Hey, that's cool. Decreases the recharge duration for equipment. So that's for grenades. The automap reveals exploration items in a wider radius. The compass will pulse when near secret areas. Oh, but do I want to waste 2 on that? I do, because that's fun for the broadcast. Let's do that. Exploration items now appear in the automap automatically. All right, that's half the fun of the program. All right, so we got 6 left. And I got an achievement. Now, for environmental damage, decrease weapon self-damage. Oh, that's cool. Do I want to go that way or towards dexterity? Grab ledges faster. Well, I probably do a lot of damage to myself, so let's grab that. Then, immune to explosive barrel damage. I don't know how often I die to that. Let's grab that. Swap weapons more fast. Faster. Great. Prower says, are you going to do Oxhorn after night again soon? I mean, not really. I spend my nights working on lore videos, so it's not like if I were to ever reduce the frequency of my lore video publication, that would open up my schedule for more live streams. And I know Oxhorn After Dark was a lot of fun, but I have to do my lore videos too. Maybe someday I'll have made so many lore videos that I'll say, okay, that's good. Time for more live streams. But that day is not today. Okay, we've spent all our points. Let's go kill some demons. Explosive shot. All right, just remember, pistol, shotgun, plasma rifle, heavy assault rifle. Yeah, that's what I want, my scope. Rocket launcher, lock-on burst, super shotgun. I don't have anything for that. Chain gun, holy cow. Kilo 7 says you can eventually upgrade the chain gun into a mobile turret and make it shed through demons like butter. Oh, really? That sounds fun. Okay, I wonder if there's a way to... There. Okay, 0. Okay, that's 9. 8. That's 7. 7 is my Gauss rifle in siege mode. Oh, and I got another one. Barons of Hell. Okay, now we can learn about these guys. These are the big demon guys that showed up in our last live stream. It is clear that Barons are ferocious fighters with a bloodlust unparalleled by any other demon. Barons, larger and faster, than their lesser brothers, also possess the ability to generate hell energy fireballs, which can be hurled at a target. In the doomed Project Lazarus manned expedition, it is believed that most of the explorers were set upon by Barons of Hell, though the details are unclear. Tablets retrieved from the Great Step in the UAC Automated Survey of 2143 suggests that the Barons of Hell are the current royal guard of the unknown Dark Lord of the Fourth Age. While the nature of this entity is unknown, it must be presumed that as the Royal Guard's power has significantly increased, so too has the power of their masters. Okay, just making sure there's no ledge down here with a little Doom Guy's secret or something. Whoa! What does hell need all of this machinery for? Should I leave them alone because they're not on me yet? Ah, doggone it. There we go. Okay. Well, that was not wise. Okay, so we've got a rune over there. Is this a lift? Just looking for secrets, ladies and gentlemen. Hey! Cacodman. Oh, over there. Oh, dear. The lever? Marson says there's a lever. Great. I hate hunting for these levers. I've only found one. Yeah, look at that. Yeah! Is that it? Guess so. Well, that was great. But 2 big secrets all in one area. Hold on, where's my rum? I haven't had a single sip of rum today. Is that where I came from? No, that's all new. And there are secrets down there. And that's where I'm going. Wait, no, this is where I came from. Okay, I don't know. Ooh, fire. Fire bad. Someone was having a seance. Looks like it didn't work too well for them. Environments. Should you find yourself in a level 3 demon containment event, it is important that you remain calm. A tier 3 advocate wouldn't panic, and neither should you. We have a saying here in the Lazarus Lab, if you want the job, act as if... So, stop, think, and act as if you are a tier 3 advocate. Here are the steps you should follow. 1. Attempt to reach an emergency force field safety zone or a bulkhead door. Do not run, as some of our trans-dimensional visitors are sensitive to movement. Trans-dimensional visitors, that's what they're calling them. Okay. Shut down any volatile equipment you may be using. Should you be unable to escape from the demons, it's important that you don't leave the plasma cutter running where it could damage an important piece of machinery. 3. If there is no obvious escape route and you have powered down your equipment, give yourself over to the demon willingly. Studies have shown that infuriating a demon by running away can cause additional frustration in the predator, and that may result in your body being too badly mutilated for useful post-mortem study. Simply kneel down, close your eyes, and wait. Remember, you can be as useful in death as you are in life. Ah, this is a healthy workplace environment. Oh, I love it. It's so bad. Okay, where are we going? Mix some complete guide to snap maps Evil Cabin, Mars, and Watcher. Are these all real books? Am I showcasing my ignorance of science fiction by not knowing what those are? Right, we came from there. We go to here. Missy says, Oxhorn, orange equals acquired, items gray not found yet. Thank you. Ah, airlock sealed. Whoa. Okay, looks like I gotta figure something out. What am I missing? I'm missing a terminal in here. There it is. That's what I'm missing. Thank you.
Olivia has an artifact in her private lab that we've been studying for years. I believe you can use it to find the answers you seek. It bears your mark.
Olivia's personal laboratory is not part of the registered facilities database. Alpha-level clearance will be required to locate it. Granted.
Thank you.
You can access her Lazarus facility from the north sector of the Advanced Research Complex, about 80 kilometers away.
I'll bring the tram power online to take you there, but you'll need a UAC corporate facilities clearance card to activate it. There is a security station nearby.
Okay, go to the Lazarus facility, and there's a security station nearby. There's my compass. The markers are over there. Still unlocked. Can I unlock this now? Yep. Daniel says, Ox, love what you do. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Daniel. Oh, hi! Ah! Hey! Oh, right in the eye. Oh, I never liked that eye anyway. Oh, and I'm dead. Okay. It's okay. Okay, sorry for not talking. I was preoccupied, but I'm okay now. Everything's fine. All good here. How are you? Lewis says, great work, Ox. Your storytelling is fantastic. I love your new Obra Dinn series. Looking forward to your future work. Have a coffee on me. Thank you, my friend. Very generous. I love it. Okay. We're okay. Looks like we'll have to keep our eyes open. That's where I need to go. But can I get up there? I don't want to have to cut through all of that again, so I'm not going to try. Oh, come on. I should be able to get up over there. Oh, yeah, okay, we'll fall. What was that? Oh, hi. Oh, hi, Mark. Whoa. Oh, Judy. Okay, what? I'm fine. Loot. Running low on ammo. Ash says, Oxhorn, you're not okay. You're currently in hell fighting demons. It's a very bad day. Yeah, I think you're probably right. But gosh darn my infectious optimism, I guess. All right, we got ammo. Now, we got the green thing over there with the zombies in the portal. And then we got a door over there with the thing in the bodies. Let's just do a running jump. How about that? Oh, let's see. Yep. Running jump. Aha!
Those who came before you, and those with whom you serve, all operate with the same goal in mind, the development of a new dawn for mankind. It is by this guiding principle, working together as a team, that we will elevate ourselves.
Here we go. Collect all 15 hell relics and reach the altar before the timer expires. All right. Ticking clock. 16 seconds. 1 second per hell relic collected. Running away! Hell relic! Oh yeah! We got one hell relic. Alley-oop! And we got another hell relic. Alley-oop! hell relic down here. Where's the next hell relic? There it is. Over we go. Up, over. There's that. Oh no, I'm running out of time. Oh, and I'm really running out of time. Oh golly, I hate this. 12, 13. And then there's one over here. 2, 1. Oh no. Can I do it? Oh! Let's try this again. Revise my strategy. Oh dear. Cleo says Oxhorn, the super shotgun, is good against tougher demons. Thank you. Right. Left. What I miss? Oh, it's that one. That one at the end. I'm gonna do it. Don't fear. It's gonna work. I just gotta, zone in with the place in the zone in the mind. That's what I'm doing with the zone and in the place of the mind. And to the right. And straight ahead. To the left. Down we go. Round the corner. To the right. One jump, straight ahead, double jump, over the left, no, run out of time, no, over the right, yes! In-flight mobility provides a significant increase in control over air movement after a double jump. Okay. Well, we got it. Now, that's where I need to go, but map. Where's my map? Where's my map? There. Okay, so that's where I'm at. Ooh, we got some secrets down there. Do I jump down? The grayed out ones are the ones I don't have. Look at that. Look at that down there. There's something down there. Okay. Whoops, I did something bad. Doggone it. Let's try this again. Oh my gosh. Okie doke. Okay. The green light is right there, meaning that's where I'm supposed to go, but... Oh, the green light's also there. Checkpoint reached! Okay. Feeling good. Feeling good. Oh, God! Oh, dear Lord! That's ridiculous! Checkpoint reached! Okay. Now we can go back to where I'm supposed to go.
And those with whom you serve all operate with the same goal in mind, the development of a new dawn for mankind. It is by this guiding principle, working together as a team, that we will elevate ourselves to the next plane of existence.
Well, isn't that nice? Oh, this means something's gonna happen. Oh, yeah.
Demon breach detected.
everything! Pinky in the tail. Says Marson, shoot the pinkies in the butt so they die faster. Thank you very much.
That demon seems to have taken your key card. You will need to find it. The tram station will not be accessible without proper clearance.
Okay. What is this? Yeah, auto map. Ow! If I can get to their tail. ¡Vamos! Oh my God. That was brutal. How did I survive that? Oh, look at all this. Look at all this. I always find it after I need it. Wait for it to charge, then strafe to the side. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Man, I'm low. I'm low on absolutely everything. No, I got plenty of shotgun. Great.
Unauthorized exploration outside the base is prohibited. Highly volatile experiments and artifacts are permitted.
Demonic breach detected.
Where did that little glowing thing go? Where you going, Box? Great. Sweet. This stimulant is the first and so far only successful fusion of UAC technology and the arcane science behind Argent stimulants. When consumed, it bestows additional stamina and endurance on the user, effectively giving them more life. This effect is achieved by first vaporizing, then ionizing an adrenaline solution, which is then injected into the demagnetized Argent stimulant. Okay, science. As the resulting concoction is extremely volatile, the product must be absorbed immediately to avoid combustion. It is notable that this stimulant can be administered to humans successfully, although it does shorten overall lifespan significantly. Oh no! Attempts to administer the solution to demons has proved unsuccessful. The demon suffers agonizing death moments after ingestion.
Demonic presence at critical level.
I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted after that.
Access denied.
Oh, I need a yellow
Your
access
security
card.
clearance required.
All right, before I jump over, really quickly, just a quick scan of everything up here. 7 shotgun shells. Mobile turret. A secondary firing crucible and compression chamber can be added to the weapon. This modification unbalances the weapon, so remaining stationary while firing is recommended. When used, the weapon fires at twice the normal rate of fire, expending twice the ammunition and superheating the muzzle. Although this modification presents the most powerful suppression of the UAC arsenal, other than the BFG prototype project, the system can and will overheat if not used cautiously. Okay. I need ammunition. Very effective. Very effective. Checkpoint reached. Kokodamon. While Kokodamon senses the presence of the living, it will hunt them relentlessly until it gets close enough to gnaw on them using an impressive set of mandibles. To aid the hunt, the Kokodamon has a psychoactive narcotic bile which it spews at range. On contact, this bile inhibits the perception of the target and compromises movement. The effect wears off after a few moments, which is often enough time for the lumbering beast to get within bite range. Okay, I'm going to save that. Okay. We're good. Okay. We got it. Now, that's where I'm supposed to go. Can I just take a moment? Just take a moment. Hold on. Let's breathe in the fiery atmosphere of hell for just a moment. All right. I'm coming for you, Olivia.
Access denied. Yellow security clearance required.
Ooh, yuck.
You cannot send a team in to retrieve it.
I am the head of this corporation. All your work and discoveries here belong to me. He was mine before you even found him.
So maybe my erstwhile helpers are not quite as helpful or innocent as they appear.
Access granted.
Down we go. Green.
Unauthorized exploration into the exclusion zones outside the base is prohibited.
Ah.
Access granted.
Oh, hi.
UAC tram ready for departure. Please
So we're gonna
be
take-
seated. The tram is now ready to depart.
Great, let's
the
take the train.
UAC's Advanced Research Complex will be our final destination.
Oh, we didn't get any Argent cells. We got one of 2 rune crowns. What did I miss? We only got 3 of 6 secrets. Oh, we only got 1 star for exploration. We got all our combat ones though. All right. Well, my friends, we got 1 level down. And it took us about an hour. Let's save next level for next week. I'm going to get to work on editing the audio I recorded for my next Fallout 3 lore video, which I will publish on Saturday. We're going to be splitting that into a 2-parter, Saturday and Sunday, to discover exactly where we went after I almost gave it away. After Vault 87. Vault 87. That's where we were last. And then tomorrow, really exciting, day 2 of Dishonored, which I'm having way more fun with than I thought I would. So I hope you'll tune in tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning for day 2 of Dishonored. We are going to have a blast. I'll be coming with coffee. I wish I could share it, but it's just for me. But maybe you can come with coffee and a croissant and, I don't know, whatever you have for breakfast, muffin, maybe, butter. and we can have a great live stream tomorrow for 4 hours. That's the plan. Anyway, thanks for coming, everybody, to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. Tune in next time. Same Ox channel, same week. How does it normally go? Tune next week. Same Ox channel, same Ox time for Scotch and Smoke Rings episode 50. Was that an unintentional rhyme? I'll let you guess this time. Thanks again for coming. Have a wonderful night. Be kind to absolutely everybody, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Pacific time for Dishonored. Thanks again. Have a good one.